Did I just film a video and not record any of the audio after I had to go over next door to tell the other studio to turn down their music because I was going to be recording in here, which for me was a lot. And now I just filmed like a 30-minute video and it had no audio. And now they're playing music again. And I feel less than. Shit happens. Make sure that y'all like these videos, man, because I be going through it, okay? But these are just growing pains. These are all just growing pains. It's just me in the studio. We gonna get it all figured out. But what up, y'all? My name is Jade Fox. This is the Madeyoulooks channel, and today I'm going to be talking about 2022 fashion trend predictions, but low-key, I'm thinking it's gonna be more like 2022 trend observations, because I've noticed pretty much all trend videos, trend prediction videos are just like, everybody says like, oh, people are already wearing this, so they're just gonna keep doing it. So it's like, is it a prediction if you're just saying that something that's already happening right now is just gonna continue to happen? You know, so I feel like based on that, I can say that these are my predictions too, okay? Now, these are less actual trend specific and more of just like kind of like my take on the attitude towards fashion, attitudes towards streetwear, the way people are regarding fashion and thinking about fashion, and the way that they are even like partaking in fashion, I feel. So this is more of my commentary around that. Please sound off in the comments. I love to see what y'all are thinking. I love when it's like when you meet a stranger and you start talking and y'all are on the same vibe, and it's like, oh, I wasn't expecting it to happen. That's what I feel like what happens when when we get into it. So go ahead and sound off in the comments. Let me know what your predictions are. Let me know what y'all think about what my predictions are, and let's just go ahead and get into it, because she's gonna be a little chatty today. So go ahead and get a snack, get a drink, and whatever else you need, whatever your libations are. Let's get into this talk. So the first thing that I'm noticing, and obviously social media has a very big role in all of this, because this is what I'm looking at. This is what I'm looking at on the street. It's kind of hard because in Portland, people don't really get dressed here like that. Like they do when they go out, but it's only like 2 places to go for real. So, you know, I can't even really say like what I'm seeing on the street, because what I'm seeing on the street is rain jackets and beanies. You know, so this is more so what I'm taking from Instagram and just other fashion content. It seems like there is no ugly color anymore. Do y'all remember back when everyone hated brown? There was a moment where everyone hated the color brown. I remember just moments in general where we all just agreed that we didn't like this color, and we all agreed that we do like this color. Like when Kanye came out with the pink polos, we all agreed that we liked pink. We all agreed that we were into the Easter Sunday color schemes. Now we're all agreeing that we're into Bottega green. We're into this nice chocolate brown that's happening. And so it feels like we are finally at a point, and we've most likely been there for a long time, to be honest, but we're at a point where there is no such thing as like an ugly color. There's no such thing as an ugly color combination. If you want to mix green and red and blue and orange together, people are doing that, and they're doing it very well. I'm not one of those people, but like people are doing that and they're doing very well. And it's kind of nice to see, because I feel like we're in the age where we're being less judgmental when it comes to fashion, more specifically on social media anyway. That's been really, really amazing to see. People just like putting their style out there, regardless of what anybody thinks about it, regardless of what that style actually is. I think it's dope. I think it's great that we're like lightening up on the reins here when it comes to all these fashion rules and all of this other shit. So personally, I'm here for it. I love seeing dark-skinned people wear bright colors. Oh my God. There were moments, there was a whole childhood that I lived where, oh, if you're a dark-skinned Black girl, you can't wear red lip. You can't wear bright colors. You can't wear white. Anything that was like high contrast, which is like half the damn rainbow on my skin, and I'm not even like as dark as I could be, was like a no-go simply because it was a high contrast. That's it. There was no reason, no good reason why we should not have been wearing bright lip colors and bright clothes. But for such a long time, like I did not wear any of those bright colors because I was like, oh, I'm too dark to wear something that light. And so I love to see Black women just wear the brightest colors, that God has created. Just poppy, punchy, neon pinks, neon oranges, limes, cocaine white. Like, I'm into it. I'm fucking into it. And I love that there is no such thing as like an ugly color anymore, obviously for real personal reasons, but really for everybody. I only have 4, and so this is the third. So the third one is, and correct me if I'm wrong, okay? Correct me if I'm wrong. Let me know what you think. Let me know if I'm shaking the table with this one. I feel like streetwear is becoming less hype focused. When I think of Supreme, right, I'm thinking of like what, circa 2014, 13, when I like sort of had enough to be able to buy a hat, you know, like a Supreme hat. This is when everything in the Supreme site would sell out in a matter of minutes. People were standing outside of Foot Lockers and finish lines for sneakers. There was a drum and an excitement behind just the hype of items. Not even just the items themselves, but the hype. The hype is the thing that people are like partaking in. Let me mention this. The more I learn about streetwear, the more I'm realizing that it's so many things. Like, streetwear is not just Stussy and Supreme and Jordans and skatewear and basketball wear. Like, that is one very small pocket of streetwear. Streetwear is literally anything people wear on the street. That is it. It is the things that people wear that make sense for their lives. It's the things that people wear that make sense for them economically, that make sense for them socially, that reflect where they are, their class, that reflect what they're passionate about, what their interests are, or what they're interested in. And so based off of this more vast kind of like definition of streetwear, I'm noticing that people are leaning more into the cultural side of streetwear, the actual like fashion house side of streetwear, the expensive side of streetwear. And it's becoming less of a hype machine. You know, I think that my introduction to streetwear was the hype itself. Like, living in DC, or living in Virginia, you know, I used to read stories about like people who went to my high school getting like stabbed because of they were wearing whatever Jordans had just came out, or they were waiting for whatever Jordans were about to come out. People, I remember going to school and whatever shoe just came out, whatever brand that was hot, and they came out with a thing, like everybody was wearing it the next day because they wanted to show, like it was less about the fact that other people were going to wear it and more about the fact that this is a hype item and I have it. And I want y'all to see it. It was more of a mark of class, like a mark of access in a way. And so I feel like hype as a marketing tool is becoming less popular. I think streetwear is becoming more self-expression driven, and I think streetwear is also becoming less hype beast-y. I've noticed that like people are like adopting brands that people are specifically going for brands that people don't buy because of how tired the hype is when it comes to certain shoes, when it comes to certain brands. And so there are literally people trying to disrupt it because they're so over it. And because this hype culture, in my opinion, just never really helped anybody. I understand where it comes from. I understand that people just want to feel like somebody, you know? And so I don't want to take away the real, you know, reward that people felt or feel when they acquire a hyped item and they get to wear it out. But what I'm getting at is I think people just want things that they actually like. I think that people are looking for things that are different. I think that people are using their street style as a way of reacting and responding to what's going on in the world. And I'm into it. I'm into it. And I really hope that we see more of it. It's nice to see streetwear kind of evolve and see streetwear be defined in so many more different ways than we've seen it defined in the past, the way that we've seen it presented in the past. And so I'm here for it. I hope that y'all are too. Let me get into the last one. Number 2, we are finally at the stage in fast fashion, in ready to wear, in contemporary fashion, where the tomboy aesthetic, or like that more menswear driven women's wear aesthetic, is now being like pushed forward. And I could not be more happy about it. I was in Zara the other day, and half of Zara's women's section is like menswear style pants and like boxy dad blazers and, you know, oversized classic button downs and, you know, chunky like derbies and loafers. And I think that this is what the world needs. Lord Jesus is fair. I love to see it. I love to see more like masculine, kind of like centered clothing in women's wear, because let's be honest, that shit is comfortable. Like beyond it being trendy right now, beyond it being, more, in my opinion anyway, a social response to the pandemic and just people wanting to be comfortable. I enjoy this because it makes shopping, as a more masculine of center person, it makes shopping so much more pleasant. Like it makes shopping so much more fun. The fact that I can go into Zara and see, basically a men's suit at the front of the women's section. Matilda Djerf Avenue, babe. I have heard of Matilda Djerf before. My girlfriend loves Matilda Djerf. I know that she's wildly successful and popular on Instagram, but I hadn't taken time to go to Djerf Avenue, which is her clothing line. I lost my mind. I have never heard about a brand and then made a purchase so fast. And her whole website is literally like, there are like some skirts and like, obviously there are like flirty feminine pieces on that website. But for the most part, everything is pretty like straight and unisex and leans more in the menswear kind of relaxed, casual vibe. It's definitely not leaning towards a feminine feel. And I love that. It makes shopping so much better for other tomboys. And honestly, I think that women's wear needed it. I think that we needed something that was comfortable, like an entire aesthetic that wasn't loungewear, that was comfortable and acceptable, and so I feel like this is a trend that I'm going to be seeing way more of, and also a trend that I will be partaking more into. I'm gonna put that Djerf Avenue website down below because, sweetheart, she has some pieces on there. I'm saying she has some pieces. The last observation I want to talk about is the expansion of menswear. I feel like menswear is having a moment right now. It's having a moment where we're seeing different versions of what menswear is. We're seeing sexy menswear for once. We're seeing menswear that's more fashion forward. Like menswear, the very classic basic version of it, the very like mundane version of menswear that I'm not using to define menswear, but like I think that this is where not the origins, but I feel like when I say menswear, this is what people think of. They think of like, kind of like stuffy, whatever, boring, straight bootleg jeans and, a basic classic white tee and a tie and a button down and a polo, like whatever, I feel like we're seeing more fashion focus in menswear, which I love to see, because just because menswear has been that doesn't mean that that's what the people want. You know what I mean? Like, I think that we're in a space where like guys are ready to define, not even guys, but just people who participate in menswear are looking for something different. Like they're looking for something that feels updated. I'm even gonna go off on a limb and say that menswear, that there is no true go-to menswear aesthetic right now. If you think back to 2010, most guys were wearing skinny jeans, Chelsea boots, t-shirts, and fedoras. Like that is what people were wearing, or that's what the guys were wearing. They were wearing graphic tees and basketball shorts. Even now, I feel like I'm seeing more like fashion, mostly on TikTok. TikTok be coming for the girls, but I've just been seeing more of an influx of content surrounding menswear on TikTok, basically saying that like the normal outfits that we're seeing usually be praised by men are now corny. Like the graphic tees, snapback, Emmanuel shorts, and Jordans is corny now. Like the Chelsea boot, the skinny jeans, and the t-shirt and the fedora is corny now. And so it's like, I feel like menswear is almost trying to redefine what it is. And I'm here for it. I'm here for young people, young guys, like looking to become more fashion forward, looking to become a bit more androgynous, embracing even women's wear or embracing more androgynous clothing. I just feel like that's where we're at. And it's just going to be pushed even further. And maybe this energy that we're seeing with women's wear kind of adopting more of an androgynous kind of genderless feel is going to be replicated in menswear. I mean, it's already started, it's already happening, it's happening right now, it's happening as we speak. And I'm excited for it. I'm excited to see it. Even when it comes to men that I've seen online, there's like 4 to 5 different styles that I can think of. So like there's no go-to style for dudes right now. And I think that's kind of dope. I don't know if I've ever lived through that before. I mean, I probably never lived through it as an adult, but it's great to see. And so I want to know what y'all think about all of this. Let me know if you're excited about any of this. Let me know if you think that I'm wrong. And I will see y'all very soon in another video. And do not forget, wear what you want, wear what you like, wear it out. Bye.